Hey guys, before we get started, I wanted to say a quick few messages. First of all, I'm back! For those of you who don't know, I took a little bit of a 2-month break to finish my degree between working on this review and the next one. So, yay for me, I'm glad I got it. So that means there's gonna be a few dated words I say in this video. Like, for example, at the very end, I'm going to say, oh, I hope I get this video done by May. It's almost June, so please bear with me with that. So, I hope you guys enjoy my video and have fun!
Hello?
Ah, yes, hello. This is your friendly neighborhood anti-cult insurance agency, or ASHA for short. Have you been experiencing any solicitations of the cultist variety?
Yes, I have actually. There's this girl I know who keeps trying to get me to sign into her book, and I want no part of it.
I see. That is a darn shame. Well, we here might have some advice that could aid you. It's a simple 3-step plan, really.
I'm listening?
First, take out the piece of paper to your right.
Not going to question this, but okay.
Then, write your name on it.
Uh-huh.
And finally, the most important aspect. Understanding the latent potency of mastering your own charisma with your very own...
Shannon!
Hello, darkness, my old friend, and everyone else in the show. My name is Shannon, aka Anime America's Harem Explorer, and today I have a request from our latest review raffle winner, Robert Wolstein, for a harem I've been wanting to do for the longest time now. Shh, shh, it's okay. I'm crying on the inside too. Yes, I know for once we get to talk about a good reverse harem. I know, it's a long time coming. But seriously, unless it focuses on something outside of its genre, like a one-on-one romance within the harem or a more comedic angle, reverse harems, despite being my preference, tend to be the worst in quality. Most of the time, they come up as either loveless cash grabs for otome games or a fumbled mess like the morbid pile of humanity that they are. Yes, I went there. But dang, I just want a good reverse harem. Not just okay, not just a little above average, but a good, focused harem. Not a conceptual one. But for now, with the anime I've been tasked to review, I feel like this one is going to be different. So without any more inconveniences, here is the Fall 2016 Reverse Harem series, Kiss Him, Not Me. No, seriously, not me. I just had lunch. Sometimes I think to myself, the growing fujoshi genre in anime is one of the clear indications that we are in the 2010s anime ecosystem. To this day, if you asked me whether a Free or a Yuri on Ice would be ruling the ears of hundreds of anime fandangos in the early 2000s, I would have held up a ramen bowl, mushed the contents of it in your face, and tell you how thoughtfully intriguing that would be since I didn't consider it at the time. Polite criticism is the best criticism. Keep calm, live long in anime, you crazy kids. Our tale begins with this chick and her justifications for her daily stalker routines, as she exercises her right as a proud fujoshi hime, or in layman's terms, gets a kick out of 2 guys sucking each other's faces off. Until we cut out of storybook land to meet Kai Saranuma, a second-year high schooler who is also justifying her existence by secretly shipping 2 of her classmates, Igarashi-kun and Nanashima-kun, to suck each other's faces off. Ah yes, despite what many other protagonists would say about her, Kai is very much content with her fujoshi lifestyle, imagining numerous possibilities into romance, going to otaku shopping binges, seeing the death of your favorite anime character. Oh my god, I'm so sorry! Stat, I need 3 cc's of Cool Whip and one of those blankets with sleeves because we have a hold-up case on our hands. Man, I hope this doesn't damage her health. Let's just see her in a week and see what happens. That your hair? You could lose a lot of weight by crying uncontrollably.
Crying uncontrollably? Nonsense! If that were true, then I bet cutting off my hair with a chainsaw would make it shinier.
Yes, I also feel included in this conversation. Wow, why don't you ask Miss Protagonist over there? Would you like a little off the top or?
God damn it!
You see, when Kai became super stressed from her terrifying incidents, she lost weight very rapidly due to her lackluster diet. Now that Saranuma has become an attractive girl to her classmates, everyone wants a piece of that Fujoshi pie, am I right? Including her classmates Igarashi and Nanashima, her snarky kohai Shinomiya, and her senpai Mitsumi. How is she going to deal with them? How is she going to keep her constant BL-filled Fujoshi mind in check? And furthermore, how come I keep getting killed by your fucking ass? Stupid Bullet King! I should get back to the review, shouldn't I? Alright. Now on paper, this concept is as straightforward as you can get for a harem anime. Our protagonist gets a transformation, which triggers multiple Bishonen out of left field to spend the rest of their time trying to date her. However, if you know where I'm going with this anime does a great job taking said straightforwardness and polishing it up like a golden Buddha statue. And frankly, for reverse harems, it's a thankful change of pace. Thank you, anime lords, thank you! Of course, it goes without saying that this is in huge part thanks to the cast. Without factoring them in, I appreciate some of the little tidbits laced around. Throughout our 12 episodes, most of the adventures our cast embarks on are structurally contained, making sure that the resolution is sweet and to the point so at the end, the episode can carry on with any character development tagged along with it. A charming point to Kiss Him Not Me was that beyond the harem premise, the show's comedy and little tidbits to other otaku culture is a great breather for those not wanting to watch the show for the harem itself, while at the same time keeping what makes it a focused harem intact. This show took a lot of classic harem episodes and moments to spice up the content with well-paced comedy, romance, and Fujoshi banter. This is also a good contrast to the flaw I have seen with more Fujoshi-related anime, and that those concentrated genres felt like they can only be enjoyed by those who already are in the know. For example, in Fundanshi Koko Seikatsu, an OVA comedy about Fujoshi culture, didn't give much substance to me besides trying to create a subsection brands for yaoi fans, while Kiss Him Not Me took a different comedic pathway that gave me a very Hayate vibe in how the show displayed anime references. So to sum up the positives, it's a decently versatile show that plays to its strengths outside the harem circle, but keeping the things focused back towards the harem, and in turn making the series that more digestible for either viewing weekly or in a marathon. My biggest concern is that it didn't hit anything new. The plot is the same old collection of first meet, school shenanigans, beach episode, club episode, mini-boss, lots of dates, decision avoidance, and repeat. But what makes this more damning is that when looking at the show from the point of view of a person who read the manga, I saw how on point each episode was to the chapter in the manga. Now I know this is a very minuscule opinion, but I thought the plot of Kiss Him Not Me was too faithful to the manga for its own good, with only a few changes to translate the work into anime form, because at the time of writing, with the manga still being incomplete, I believe that this along with any other anime can get into the entrapment of being too faithful to their source material, than if an anime was too unrealistically unfaithful to the point of being unrecognizable. Besides the parody, it just felt like a hollow, simple platform for the characters to act upon. While yes, simple can be good sometimes, it left me still wanting more, like episode 5, an episode that I can remember for its plot and characters, than simply just the characters. Another concern I have is about the matter of the harem's catalyst, or as stated in the Haremnomicon, a type of reoccurring significant plot and or character device in which used to either ignite the events to create said harem, or question that harem's integrity, thus moving character or plot development. About every harem that I know of has some sort of catalyst, whether it be Haruhi and Oran being mistaken for a boy in the beginning by Tamaki, or Ayamu's awkward introduction at the convenience store. So what do we get for this anime? We get the transformation cliché! Yay! Despite it being executed alright in this anime, I'm always biased against this cliché because it's overused a lot in anime. A story about a person who suddenly gets a fairy godmother-like transformation that sparks their surroundings and changes their life forever is something that's overplayed, overused, and downright exhausting to me. At the end of the day, I cannot blame them for the directive choices of the staff. Keeping the choice to stay faithful to the work is safer than most others, with my own desire to spice up the plot. So yes, I can admit that it's risky going anime only. I mean, did you see the outcry of Tokyo Ghoul Route A? Or all the Naruto fillers? Or the ending of the first season Yeah, you know, cause that ending should not be talked about in my presence. The characters. A harem's lifeblood, existential core, and in layman's terms, the most important aspect of this genre. So let's get straight to the point, because the characters are great. Really great. The plot only did so well because of its characters inhabiting the space. These characters felt not only fleshed out, but human in the sense that it's not like an ultra pre-harem where every person is color-coded to a specific trait or personality. Or insert feudal harem theme anime here that tries too hard to be melodramatic. I cannot tell you how many reverses are set in old-style Japan. It's just really monotonous in my opinion. But for Kiss of Not Me, it takes the interesting combination of traits and plays them out in an enjoyable burst. This adds to the fact that when the harem is all together, it makes for the best money shots because of how fun the interactions can be. They are clearly competing for Kai, but still remember that they are high schoolers at the end of the day trying to enjoy their youth with the emotions behind teenage angst. But let's just get right to talking about our harem centerpiece, Kai Saranuma. Kai Saranuma, in my eyes, has quickly become one of my favorite reverse harem leads in anime. In fact, I feel like she could potentially, and I'm putting giant asterisks here, be to reverse harems as Keima is to normal harems in terms of being stylish. Now when I say stylish, I mean, like I said back in my top 10 harem leads video, that Keima was a trendsetter, a type of character whose plot revolves around them, wouldn't be the same without them, and a spot that couldn't be filled with anyone but them. In fact, in the case of reverse harems, I haven't seen someone this stylized since Tsunaka from the Wallflower, and even that is a stretch. But back to Kai, like the show tends to point out, it's her personal blend of otaku and otome that wins me at the end of the day. On top of the fact that she's cool with not caring with what other people think of her, regardless of how she carries herself, is a great trait for this modern era. I also like the fact that her flaws are not ignored, like how she can get a little carried away with her for Joshi fantasies, or how much she doesn't know what she wants sometimes when it comes to giving the harem an answer. But I like it because it's a lot more realistic. She wasn't actively trying to lose weight, she just did it out of circumstance, and the harem just fell right before her. So of course anyone would be a little flustered on what to do. Has it been done before? Yeah. But that doesn't take away of how polished these features of her are. So overall, Kai is definitely the best part of the show. But we cannot forget the other reason of why we're all here. Ahem. Let's get shipping! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of WWE SmackDown, Best Boy Edition. This is looking to be a good competition on our hands as our combatants are well balanced, well prepared, and on the attack for our championship. Like our prized princess, this harem may not offer something new to the table, but like a honed fighter have polished their skills to bring some of the best highlights in the harem league. So without further ado, let's meet our contestants. First up is Nozomu Nanashima, a hard on the outside, gooey on the inside type of fellow with a blunt yet honest personality. A classmate to Kai who in the beginning didn't see much of her, fell flat on his face when he saw her transformation. He's someone who will both knock a few heads and be there to cheer up any child's face. Great for you big brother lovers out there. While he is childish in some ways, being one of the two in the harem who saw Kai mainly for her looks, he makes up for it for how upfront, straightforward, and goofy he can get with his feelings once you get to know him. Next up on the chopping block is Nozomu's best friend and everyone's favorite class rep, Yusuke Igarashi, a man who comes off as a pretty nice guy, and the most realistic among everyone else in the harem, but don't let that nice grin fool ya. But when it comes to Kai, he is the type of bold, devilish romantic who loves getting sneak attacks in. If it means he can rack up points on the scoreboard, he is no stranger to underhanded tactics to make the one he desires blush over him. I personally love his perceptive nature and how he figures out the core of many conflicts that affect the group. His downsides may include a little indecisiveness and his habit of falling apart when he's faced with a challenge that overpowers him, but that doesn't stop him from being my second favorite person in the harem for Kai. Now we move on to Hayato Shinomiya, the cute, clumsy, and tsundere underclassman. Before her transformation, he was assigned as one of the school's health monitors with Kai, but because of her previous appearance, nothing came much of it. As the other person who's very much invested in Kai for her looks, Hayato is the harem's underdog, that Karate Kid equivalent of a guy trying to overcome practically impossible odds to get the girl of his dreams to look his way. Despite times where I had issues with him, he's the type of guy who's easy to root for at the end of the day. He may not be the strongest or the bravest in the group, but he's just so damn cute that when he surprises you, it's very much a treat, even with his short fuse. Fourth, we have Azuma Mutsumi, aka the Super Senpai and who I believe gets the Best Boy award. Azuma, the harem space cadet, is a guy with many things going for him on the scoreboard. He knows Kai the longest with their relationship in the school's history club. He's only one of two who didn't care about Kai's looks before the transformation, and the only one who knew about her afterwards, treating her the same as he always did. There are countless times in the harem when the group relied on Azuma to get them out of a jam, making him both a huge threat and the harem's peacemaker. Though at times he can come up as too nice as one of his major flaws, not realizing the feelings of himself or others until it's too late. But he's getting better on that as time moves on. In fact, when it comes to protecting others, you don't want to be at the end of Senpai's anger. There are a lot of more matters to discuss with this man, but for now, I think we've got all the people. Alright! Did I forget to mention that this harem was bisexual? Good, because welcome to 2010, where equality is served as an appetizer. Okay, but seriously, it's not like we haven't seen the opposite sex in the harem before, but for the most times, it was done either for a comedic effect, where it seemed like it was more of a joke vote than anything else. Here though, it's taken seriously as Shima Nishina becomes the 5th and a surprisingly potent contender among the guys as she makes her declaration the moment she steps into the ring. Being both a rich debutante and lover of all things Fujoshi, Nishina becomes Kai's soulmate in her endeavors, not to mention that she happens to be the mangaka that Kai simply adores. In fact, it's told in her episode how much she knew and loved Kai beforehand, loving her for the way she was originally physically. This underclassman has a lot of traits from Yusuke, being bold and calculative, yet like Azuma in being supported for Kai. However, in my opinion, could suffer from one of the worst disadvantages to anyone playing in the harem league. Being friend-zoned. Hence why I couldn't see the outcome of a Yuri ending. She's being taken seriously, but hey, it's like the Harem Nomicon always teaches us, that we the audience chooses out our fantasies. Don't judge while you eat some fudge. The way Kiss 'Em Not Me's color palette was so vibrant and bright was essentially very fun for this fun show. Episode 1 nailed it with the Otaku Otome meter, and the attention to details in the eyes, hair, and overall design of the characters were so on the nose. But like I said in past harem reviews, Brainspace rarely messes this up. However, I will say I'm a little disappointed at some of the set pieces. One of the reasons when I talked about earlier in being too faithful to the manga. Aesthetically, the school's backgrounds were basic and plain for a Brainspace anime. You could argue that the show was more grounded in realism, and thankfully with a more comedic focus behind it, backgrounds weren't a big deal, but it kept me still thinking, yeah, this is a manga, but animated. I know that doesn't make any sense, but I kinda wish for something more. As for the voice acting, I at first solely watched the show subbed because at the time I didn't have access to the Funimation broadcast dub. But now that I do, I had a look at it and I had a fun time watching it again dubbed, with a few minor issues. Quick shout out to Megan and everyone at the Dub Talk podcast for their episode of Kiss 'Em Not Me. It really helped me get more opinions, and I will agree with them that for Tia Ballard's first time in soloing an ADR director spot, it was great. Her casting and supervision makes me excited to see more of her on this front. Overall, the whole cast was a very naturalistic mix of people and their lines and delivery. For a show that's comedically driven in character development and set pieces, I enjoyed that greatly. Kai Seranuma, played by Janine Torado, was by far my favorite performance. I liked the way she delivered her Fujo lines with a lot of fun and vigor. Across the board, all of the cast felt like they were very into their characters, but Kai had something special about her. Plus, I'm very thankful she kept her voice constant during the times when she was overweight, because that issue was very controversial in the sub among fans. Yusuke Igarashi, played by Alejandro Saab, and Hayato Shinomiya, played by Justin Briner, tied for me for best male performances because they felt very warm in tone, specialized in their role and delivery, and very specific episode moments felt so on the nose that it was scary. Azuma Mutsumi, played by David Wall, was surprisingly my middle pick this time around. Yeah, it fit the character, but the previous 3 performances were just that good that he fell short in comparison. Of course, it doesn't mean it was bad, but yeah, middle is what I would describe it as. Though I can't say the same for Nozomu Nashima, voiced by Ryan Pitts, and Shima Nishina, voiced by Michelle Rojas, both having the minor issues I said earlier that took me a while to get used to. For Nashima, it was the outburst and overexpression that took me a minute to rewire in my brain since I was so used to his sub-performance. Though after episode 4, I can say that I came around to him with his natural dialogue, making it more easy to listen to. Shima, on the other hand, I will agree with Dub Talk in that it felt a little too girly. Mostly because in her introduction episode, when she was wearing her Sebastian cosplay, the group was not supposed to realize she was female until the reveal, but the voice kinda was off-putting to me at that one moment. Another thing is that the ambience about the character is that while she is rich, she can also come off as a very handsome female, so it breaks my immersion when the rich girl aesthetic is played too much. It was a good attempt at a rich girl, but other than the Fujo moments, didn't make it a great one for me. But kudos to everyone who worked on the script. And finally, for the opening, the ending, and the soundtrack, yeah, I didn't think much of it, to be honest, unfortunately. It was the generic fanfare for the harem variety. It wasn't a bad OP or ED, but highly skippable after the first go-around. Nor did I think it was something to write home about. Now then, let me take you on a journey. A journey of the mind. For once I finish this next segment, your mind will be blown to the ends of the earth! Or not. I mean, it's just a spoiler section after all. Hit it! Friends, comrades, lend me your ears because it's time for After Show, the spoiler section in my reviews where I put the Fuj back in Fujo and tell it like it is like a fan. This section is for those who have already finished the series, so without further ado, this is your final spoiler warning. I wanted to talk about episode 5 because episode 5, I've said before, should be the best episode of this show, as it addresses the core theme of this show head on, the theme about inner versus outer beauty among the guys' fascination for Kai. It's no surprise how other people have criticized the guys for her love and how shallow it can be, but I commend the show for making this theme constant in every person in the harem in some form or way. Even Asuma, for example, may have liked her no matter what. His too nice flaw is an example of the danger of not caring too much, and maybe not having something to latch onto in a person can hurt more than it helps. So episode 5, ironically being the Valentine's themed episode, is one where Kai becomes overweight again from trying too much chocolate she was eating to help with her contest, and watching every character deal with it showcase what they were truly made of. The focus being on Yusuke, who honestly I would choose to personally date thanks to this episode. Asuma is still best boy for Kai, but for me, Yusuke is the type I would fall for with no doubt, because of his realism. He reminds us that everyone is imperfect when it comes to what they see over what they feel for a person. Everyone has preferences whether we like it or not, and how he questioned his own resolve to like her despite what she looked like was charming because he had to think on it. Look, I love how Asuma is great to her in every instance, but it can be too wish-fulfilling in the best case scenario. Shina, while also supportive of her, showed her true colors of what she laid back on, about herself in another episode about her kind of skewed vision of beauty. And Hayato and Nozomu, well, yeah, enough said. At the end of the day, episode 5 brought to the table something normally not confronted in harems, since unfortunately some harems can succumb to wanting to be the perfect fantasy for the viewer, which is fine. It's marketable, but it's not the best for the brain and how we can learn as people. Harems, making you think. Now that's a rarity. Shh, I'm sorry, little one, but it's true. Otherwise, brainwashing the masses for all that pretty pixel cash wouldn't have worked now, would it? Good book. It goes without saying that Kiss 'Em Not Me was a joy to experience. I haven't had this much fun with a reverse harem in such a long time. It shows that reverse harems can in fact break the curse of horrible plots, color-coded characters, and bland dialogue, while at the same time giving non-harem fans something funny and enjoyable to grab onto. It remembers that it's an anime first and a harem second, showcasing that all you need is some polish and a lot of elbow grease to bring out great results. So after some consideration and count 'em 2 times I could spot out Attack on Titan references, I award Kiss 'Em Not Me with a recommendation to buy it when it's available in your country, and with a surprising watchability rating of PG. For harems, that's saying something. Yeah, even I can admit the verdict was pretty obvious from the start, and the content is tame for a wide range of audiences to enjoy. It's just that fun. Apart from a few Fujo moments that could go over one's head if not delving into the biblical text of the Fujoshi, you should be fine. As for other recommendations, let's start with the more recent anime about Fujoshi culture in the shorts Fundanshi Koko Sekatsu, an anime that concludes that being a Fujoshi is open to everyone. The next one I would recommend is for those looking for a sweet BL love story that gets to the point in more ways than one. Love Stage! The anime about a college student in a highly successful family of entertainers who finds love thanks to the power of cross-dressing. Because if Oran has taught us anything, it's that cross-dressing is a foolproof venture. Speaking of which, I will next recommend the show that's basically Kiss 'Em Not Me's and Oran's love child in The Wallflower, a show I discussed earlier about a horror and gore fanatic getting lessons in the ways of ladyship by 4 of the school's handsomest dudes. Next we have the one, the only Princess Jellyfish, for the very much the same reasons as The Wallflower, but if you're older and want some Hosei in your life. And finally, something to keep us recent and go with Masamune-kun no Revenge, a normal harem where at the time of recording I haven't watched yet, so this is more of a blind recommendation, but have been told the fun of watching mean-spirited characters try to generally interact with one another is a treat upon itself. So between all of that, I hope you can find something you'll enjoy. Another big thank you to Robert Wolstein for supporting us on Patreon and picking me as your raffle reviewer, along with Gavin Tucker, Jesse Law, Danny Joe Jones, Brian Jolly, Andrew Bull, Felix Weisenman, Red the Knight, Alyssa Von Horn, Leah Meza, and the original Caffeinator, to name a few. Hopefully I'll be able to make more reviews before May, since that's when I graduate college, but until then it will be a bit slow for me for the reviews I've been needing to get to. But I'm so excited for the anime I do have planned for you all, and I thank everyone for supporting my efforts thus far. This has been Shannon, your top harem explorer, and until next time, stay tuned to...
Okay, Shannon, this has gone too far. Now, I know we've had our differences with this harem nomicon bullshit, but Creepy Calls isn't that a bit, creepy?
What are you talking about? I've been here entertaining the masses the entire time.
Oh no, this was definitely you. It was your voice and everything.
There's a lot of people in this world who would sound very much like me. Plus, Kyubey was my alibi.
Stop lying and just
Are you good, Lark? Now, don't you want to give it more thought? I know you won't regret it.
But how... You're here, and this is... No. Oh, God.
Okay, Tara, we're good. Operation Telemarketer was a complete success.
Oh, good, because imitating your voice is killer on my vocal cords. Hey, if it's not too much trouble since I helped you with this prank, could you do this one thing for me?
Depends. What's up?
Will you watch the last episode of School Days with me? Hello? Shannon? Hello? Oh, come on, it's just a joke. Don't lose your head over it.
Want to support the production? Check out our brand new store on Store Envy. For a small price, you can have a one-of-a-kind poster made by yours truly. If you can only give a small amount to help us out, check out our Patreon page. Any amount you wish to give us goes towards our production needs, so anything you can give us helps us a lot. To keep up with the latest in Anime America stuff, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Tumblr. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe to Anime America for more awesome reviews and top 10 lists. If you're interested in anything in pop culture, be sure to subscribe to Pop Spectrum. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned to Anime America.